Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome. So we're here today with episode 4 of Demon Slayer. This one's titled, actually I can't see the title, so that doesn't really help. This one's titled Final Selection, which is quite an interesting title because I felt like the last episode was sort of like a selection process, but it seemed like it wasn't. It was just trial and error, I guess. And now we're actually at a final selection. Now we did hear from, I believe his name was Oro Kodai. Let me make sure that I got that name correct. Sakonji Orokodaki. I was close. We did hear from him that there is a final selection, but I did think that was what was happening in the last episode. If I'm being completely honest, I thought like that was the trial to overcome what you've been taught and actually manifest it and actually internalize it. But no, it seems that that was not the final product, quote unquote. That was like a pre-trial or like yeah, you could say a pre-trial. Like you need to pass this to get to the actual trial. So we got a little bit of lore in the last episode, but not enough for me to really like deep dive and discuss it in great lengths, maybe even theorize, because quite frankly, there wasn't that much information there. There was a bit of information, but not that much. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, episode 4. Also, if you wanna watch these episodes early, you can do so over on patreon.com, where we've got full length early access, as well as the ultimate tier, which basically means that you'll get the episodes when I basically watch them. So if that's something that you're interested in, check out patreon.com, which I will have linked in the description down below. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, let us get ready to rock and roll. I do really like the outfit. It looks really, really nice with the mask as well. That's that breath. Yeah, I love these moments. I'm starting to get the hang of the names a little bit. I mean, not that greatly, but the fact that I could remember that his name started with Uro something. I think that's enough credit. I don't know where, like what happened from breathing to suddenly water dragon. Interesting visual. Ooh, I do like that. The way the masks kind of split and that, I do really like that. That's pretty sweet. Is that like the first praise he's given him? I get that. I kind of get the intention behind it all though. Like it's like drafting child soldiers. Alright, stop hyping me up. Damn, I hope I don't forget the point that I want to raise right now. Actually, no, I'll pause it. Here's an interesting thought. So if the demons get stronger the more humans they've consumed, and we've already seen their vitality, we've seen how fierce they are at clinging to life. We've seen that one demon's head get decapitated and basically him growing arms out of his head. Then I'm assuming, we haven't had a confirmation, obviously they have insane vitalities, but making this leap is, I guess, maybe a bit of a leap, so to speak. But are they immortal? Because we could have a case where like someone's been consuming on human meat, for example. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too much about this, I know, but I was thinking maybe it's because I was watching Fate recently, but let's say you've got someone like Vlad the Impaler, so Dracula basically, not Dracula, but the person that the Legend of Dracula was based off, Vlad the Impaler. let's say you've got someone like Vlad the Impaler who was, okay, the rumors were that he was a cannibal. Whether that's actually the case or not, you know, the Ottomans kind of just made a story, a horror story out of him because he just impaled them all and put them on a stake. So they were like, yeah, he's a cannibal too. But let's say he was a cannibal, right? In this universe, let's say, you know, someone that was born 500-600 years ago, was a cannibal and ate, and because they're a demon, they're immortal. You could, I mean, we don't know how it obviously converts, because basically all we know is that, like, the more they eat, the stronger they get. So we don't know whether, I guess, what's the best way of phrasing it? We don't know how exponentially stronger they get. So whether, you know, if they eat just one person, whether does that, you know, double their strength? And then, like, let's say you eat 1,000 people, or you've eaten 10,000s and hundreds of thousands of people throughout history because you've been alive so long. Do you suddenly, like, you know, how strong, like that's kind of like my thought process right now. Like, you're just getting like one power. Okay, if we're comparing with like a power level system, you gain like one power level, or is there like you double your current power level, or maybe it's, you know, some sort of different system. I don't know, but that thought just kind of crossed my mind. Like, we've seen their vitality. They, in theory, might be able to live forever as long as they don't come into contact with the sun and, you know, they don't get killed. But like natural causes, I don't think we haven't seen any demon die of natural causes. We don't even know if they age. So, wouldn't in theory someone be able to like live forever? Just a thought I had. Thought it was worth sharing because I know I'll forget by the end. So that may be something that will play a role. I don't know. Maybe that's Michael Jackson from the opening. He's been alive so long. He's been dancing all this time. Moonwalking. Oh no. Smooth criminal. Oh no. I've solved the code. Wait. So that wasn't intentionally part? Let's go. That's why I like final selections, tests and testing grounds and whatnot. He's good. He's good. He's good. He's becoming very good. But you've made the mistake that I would never have made. Like, he keeps running around. I would find a spot and just not leave. Uh-oh, what's going on? What caused that sort of reaction? There's someone that's eating like 50... I don't know, man. It looks like a Zelda creature. I know you want to... Ah, he's getting stronger as well. Tandra, I know you want to help my boy. But, like... could he even survive 7 days, though, in the forest? With that thing there? Not how we can stretch his arms. Oh. Oh, no! No! I don't want to be that poor sucker. I wouldn't want to be that poor sucker. Did you have to say that part? No. Alright, this guy needs to go. Oh my god. Broken just like that. Oh, cool, man. No. No. Absolute. How are you gonna end it right? I do love that name, the water surface slasher, because it was a straight horizontal slash, like the surface of the water. That is so cool. Wait, that kid is here. Look, man, this episode was fuego, for a lack of better term. It was amazing. Whenever she finally wakes up. Okay, with that said, this episode was friggin' cool, man. I really like actually. That feels like we're skipping a lot of time. Usually I don't like that because I'm like, instead of making it like, instead of this being episode 4, this really should be like episode 7, and we should have seen all the little in-betweens here and there. But it leaves so much mystery that I can like theorize so much, and it almost, in it, like for example, the theory that, well, not theory, but like me just hypothesizing at the beginning of at the beginning of this episode, not the beginning of the video, but rather the episode. I was saying that like, they could theoretically live forever, and how many could they consume in that time? And when that one kid said, well, that's not possible, I thought, well, okay, so they can't live forever. But now he was saying that's not possible because all the ones out on this hill get killed, basically. So, during the final selection. So there's no way you would or should be, alive that long. So actually, you can live forever. It's just that the ones on here really shouldn't be in practice. But, interesting. So 14 of Urokodaki or Uridokai? I think it was Uridokai. 14 of his students were eaten by that creature, but he's eaten 50 people in general. And I think that's a good base. It sounds kind of ridiculous, but I think that's a good base. That for us, I don't care much about power scaling. I know people out there for every show care extremely about power scaling, but to me it's more so I care more about the system itself, because we kind of know how Tanjiro gets his sword ability / sword style from. He's doing the water breathing style, so it makes sense that naturally his sword is able to emit, transmit, transform that breathing and that style into a unique skill, I guess, for lack of a better term. But I also honestly want a little bit more information, as I said, but I'm okay with that, because it almost feels like we didn't get to see that, and then we have the mystery as well with like, how could Tanjiro see the two dead people? Because there's clearly some element of spirits here, but it also, I've got a bunch of questions right now, like maybe more so a bunch of lore questions than anything, rather than like just questions in general. Like for example, like how did the demon slaying corpse, how did they in the first place know how to create a sword that cuts demons? For example, like they would have had to try with a normal seal, and that would have been like, that's not enough. So how would they figure out, oh, we need this and that, things like that, little tidbits like that I don't think we're ever gonna get an answer for. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'm expecting not. But like, it's just one of those things where I'm like, how exactly did you figure out like what kind of like how to first of all make that specific steel, and second of all know that you need a specific steel, But again, I don't think we'll ever get answers for that. But I also do like the fact that we kind of saw like Tanjiro kind of just like, for lack of better term, and I keep saying that word, I keep saying that phrase, but for lack of better term, exceed his fellow students. So obviously all of them died to this creature, and it was good to see that Tanjiro at first was very, very he was enraged. He was not breathing properly. He was not thinking properly. He was just kind of going off emotions. And he's a kid, so of course I can understand that. There's been some time, obviously, that's been passing over the last couple of episodes, from the first episode. But he's still relatively young. I'd say maybe like 15-ish, give or take, 15, 16-ish. It would be my guess. And I did like that, he got put to the ground, but then he actually came back and calmed down. Because the whole thing that we've learned so far is that you need to be calm. You need to be calm and collected. Your breathing needs to be steady. And I like the fact that he snapped out of that. It wasn't made a big deal. Because, sometimes how you can go shows like these is where it's like, okay, we're going to make a big emotional deal out of all of it. Oh, I can't calm down. I'm shaking so much, so on and so forth. And I like that it wasn't made into like this gigantic deal. That he was just like, okay. Like I need to get it right because this is I don't have time to, constantly think and worry about all that. I have to just get on with it in a sense, because they're not going to stop for me. They're not going to hesitate because I'm hesitating. So I do like the fact that like he just almost like not got over it immediately, but knew that he had to. He basically to himself kept what I would have imagined would have been the internal dialogue, like just to himself. I need to calm down. I need to focus. And just fall back on my training. And that's kind of what the training is there for, of course. That's why, with armies, what they kind of do is break you down so that they can then build you up in the way that they want to build you up. And that's kind of what he was going through. Like, he was broken down emotionally and physically, of course. And now he's got his training to fall back on. And, if you have that ingrained into yourself, then that means that whenever you're in a desperate situation like that, you can always fall back on that training. Now, the one thing that is interesting is that his mask broke during this episode, and that was supposed to ward off, it's supposed to be like a warding off thing. So now it's going to be quite interesting, because now he's still, this is just the first night. This is just the first night. There's still 6 more nights to go, including this one. So it's going to be a difficult time, but we've seen what he can handle. We've seen what he can do. So we'll see what he can do, and we'll see what he'll handle from here on out. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, episode 4. Very much enjoyed it. I don't know whether it's the best episode so far. I really liked the first episode. Last episode was also really good, but looking back, I like it even more than I did when I watched it. But this one, just because of the action. It sounds very simple, but I kind of wanted to see like the progression, from episode 2 really to now. We got that last episode as well, but I feel like with this episode especially, we got that to see that progression. But as I said, I really liked first episode as well. Kind of was like a gut punch. Second episode was like, okay, it's pretty sweet. But like I would say the second episode, for now, out of these 4 episodes, the second episode was definitely the weakest, and I would say this episode was the strongest out of the 4. Then I would go this order: 4, 1, 3, 2. This would be my current order in terms of episodes. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see all of you in the next one. Everyone, as I said, you can, if you want to watch early access or watch full length or watch the ultimate tier, where basically when I watch the episodes, you'll get them on that day, if not the day after, depending on how long it takes me to just to upload it and whatnot. But if you want to get that on, you can get that over on patreon.com. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see all of you in the next one. Until then, have a nice day. Peace out, as always.